we're pleased to have with us the mayor of Ashland, Steve Gilmore. Good morning.
Good morning, Jim. Great to be here.
How are you?
I'm good.
Fall has hit. We just got through Pogue Landing Days, which was pretty successful. A little rainy on Sunday, but otherwise.
Yeah, absolutely outstanding. Maybe one of the bigger crowds we've ever had. I think it's grown, obviously. As I said before, a couple weeks ago, the leadership is terrific, and the volunteers are terrific. They're just dragging in more and more stuff for our residents, for a whole region. And I love everything we do in Ashland that brings them in from other states, nearby.
Absolutely.
And, we've got this event coming in October, the Yo-Yo, that's going to be on the riverfront. I think it's going to be also become a signature event. Other than Summer Motion, it'll be the first real regional interstate event we've been able to hold there, and they're working hard on the lineup. They've got a wonderful ad going out, showing you the kind of vendors that will be here. It'll be a real cultural type thing, but also, I picture well, I'm not going to say a Woodstock event because that has maybe the wrong connotation to some people around my age. But I think you're going to have. I was trying to tell my wife yesterday. I looked at some of these people that they're trying to get, and they remind me of, Joan Baez, and they remind me of Dickel Creek and groups like that. I think it's going to be unbelievable. I think it'll be a pace setter for our tri-state area, and it'll be right here in Ashland. And it's the kind of thing they're going to build on. But along with it, next year, I think their hope is to start having something every weekend through October on the riverfront.
Great.
And this is going to be kind of a little test.
Little tease and test.
Yeah, I think so. So I'm really excited about that. So some really neat things. Fall is my favorite time of the year, and I wish it would get here a little quicker. Now, I know cold weather. I'm not saying cold weather, Jim.
Right, I understand.
Fall.
I'm the same way. I love fall. I just hate what comes after it.
Yeah.
But I do love fall. What about the hotel? How are things progressing downtown?
Hotel's moving really well. I mean, I mentioned before, all kinds of people call the mayor's office to find out when they could start staying there. Their groups, their conventions statewide, and other states even looking to come in here. Mid and a little bit smaller kind of conventions. It's a perfect place for them. They're wanting here quick. I've probably had 4 or 5 different Blazer High School class reunions that want to have it there. All of the people coming in stay there. And as I talked to Jimmy and Andy, they wish they were open last week, of course. So it's nothing that they're not trying to push along. And they've got, of course, Delta, or the Delta Marriott people are watching closely everything that's done. And that's a meticulous process when you basically gut rooms, tear walls out. They want it to look like a Delta Marriott and no corners cut, and which is what Andy and Jimmy are trying to do, and it's looking beautiful in there. I've been in, but I've seen mostly pictures, and I think it's going to be quite impressive. In the lobby itself, it's going to be walking into a great hall. And I think it will be very impressive for Ashland, small town America, but also for a whole area.
Absolutely.
It's a shot in the arm for us.
Absolutely. A lot of road work going on, and also water lines and stuff like that. We've talked about that before, but it's just going on. It's going to be going on for a while.
Yeah.
A little bit of a congestion area now down because the one bridge is closed, and they're doing that work there in front of Burger King. So it's a little bit of
Sure.
You got to avoid that if you can, or at least be patient.
Exactly right. Well, it just kind of hit the same time we're trying to do our streetscape on that block where you come across the bridge, traveling, or just coming in to where your first little look at Ashland's going to look a heck of a lot better. We're going to have a really neat entry signs, so forth, that we are in the planning stages now. As you come down that bridge, you're going to see something welcoming you to Ashland. That we've needed for a long, long time. But right now, the state, calls us, notifies us, sends us a letter. This is what we're going to do and when we're going to do it.
Yeah.
There's no negotiation. And I've gotten a lot of calls to my office about the I don't know what you call them, the dividers down there in the middle of the road, which I don't know. I can't answer why no one asked me. Purportedly, they do their own survey, the state highway department, and because it is a state highway, actually a federal highway, you get down to it with 23 going through there. But they are, they say it's making it a lot safer. As you can see, a lot of poles have been knocked out, and I'm sure there are a lot of people have yellow paint on their cars.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I'm sure there are.
It's truthfully congested enough. I'm not saying there haven't been some accidents there. I'm sure there have. Police pretty well keep us informed on that. They're not sure why it's happening either. But anyway, it's happening, and people
Just
do
be
need
patient.
to. I listen to this guy, Ernie G, coming in, and I'm one of the old timers around here, but the guy is a legend.
Yeah, he is a legend.
Truly is, and
He is.
I listen to him a lot in the afternoon. But anyway, it's just one more little fly in the ointment that progress causes inconvenience.
Yes.
This too shall pass.
This too shall pass. You're right. All right, I want to talk to you about Brady Industries because there's a lot of people with a lot of questions and
Sure.
a lot of rumors going around. So let's take a break, and we'll come back and talk about that. You're listening to the mayor of Ashland. Talk to us on The Breakfast Club, brought to you by King's Daughters Medical Center and McMeans Pharmacy.
King's Daughters introduces Care 24/7, a new free service that lets you connect with us anytime. With Care 24/7, you can get advice from a nurse about a current health problem, schedule a primary care visit, or request prescription refills. For Care 24/7, just call 606-408-8999, toll free at 844-324-2200, or learn more at kdmc.com. Care 24/7 from King's Daughters.
McMeans Pharmacy has 2 locations to serve you. Stop by 29th Street and Carter Avenue in Ashland or in their South Point location. Call McMeans Pharmacy in Ashland at 325-8400. In South Point, call 740-377-2677. For all your pharmacy needs, McMeans Pharmacy is the place for you. McMeans Pharmacy in Ashland and South Point. In Ashland, call 325-8400. In South Point, call 377-2677.
Welcome back as we talk with the mayor of Ashland, Steve Gilmore. Let's talk about Brady Industries. A lot of people, I started getting some people calling saying, what's going on? Are they pulling out? Blah, blah, blah. Because, number one, they're trying to get loan money or loans or through the government or whatever. Now they're selling stock. But that's not uncommon common for companies to do.
I think a couple of things. They're not doing anything that isn't normally done. I think talking to some of my friends that are a little bit higher in finance than I'll ever be, but they say that's just a common practice. The main thing people need to understand, and certainly my generation, we grew up with Armco Steel and 6,000 employees and Fortune 500 Ashland Oil up there. They're already there and pumping the economy, and volunteers and everything we ever did, donations to schools, everything was just smooth as silk. But had we been around at some point where they build all that, if they start building an oil plant like we have up there at Marathon, probably wouldn't reach the impact and the magnitude of what this aluminum plant, with the size of this, it's 1.6 to $2 billion plant. Well, none of us, there's nobody here in town could fathom what it takes to do that.
Right.
But
Yeah, absolutely.
But they did one stock offering a few months ago here locally, and all of the stock was bought in a matter of hours or a couple days. Okay, this one just happens to be of a greater magnitude, basically nationwide. I think they announced it in Washington yesterday, and I would just caution people when projects are coming like this. They're out there drilling for these huge pillars that are going down the ground, 20, 40, 50 feet to hold this plant. They say aluminum plants are heavy, and it's all manufacturing there. And manufacturing is for airlines, so you can imagine what some of these pieces are going to look like. But anyway, that being said, I think people need to stop, and I think in every community you have naysayers, you have negative people. Wasn't their idea. Don't want to ask them what do you think, and so they become negative. Now, not very many. Now, I can remember years ago there seemed to be a few more. Mm-hmm. But I will say I think they're in such a great minority, thank goodness. But I would caution everybody out there that's following this and knowing the impact not only of 600-700 permanent jobs that are going to start at about 65 grand, what that will do to our economy in Ashland, Boyd County, and the region. But also the fact for the next 2 or 3 years, there's going to be over 1,000 construction workers, meaning all of our people in construction trades who are traveling all over the daggone country are going to be able to work right here at home for 3 years. And there'll be people coming in to work that job. They're going to bring monies in for that. This is going to be from the start to the finish. It's going to help our economy.
And that's not even counting the other companies that are going to come.
Exactly. And he's already snagging a few.
Yeah.
And I'm still working on my deal in the city limits, and I'm counting on Craig Bouchard to work with me as he said he would. He said, I'll put more than one there if necessary, Mayor. They're going to be coming. And I believe that. I think they're honorable people. I think he's got a corporate headquarters here, 50 feet from us, that he's got 2 floors. He's already leased another floor. I don't know if you're aware of that, but he's bringing more people in. You wouldn't put your whole corporate operation in the middle of Ashland, Kentucky.
If you weren't going to be here.
If he wasn't serious about it.
Yeah.
And this is a normal process that I believe. I have faith in him. I'm the mayor, support him 100%. I would ask people to caution on attitude. I think I give speeches sometimes and I talk about attitude. It's the single most important characteristic we have. Mm-hmm. We get up in the morning, Jim, and me and you both, you look in the mirror and you determine attitude. That's the single thing we are in charge of, how we feel about something, how we look at something.
Yes.
I look in the mirror a lot, even back in the days when I was coaching. I look in the mirror and I say, we'll be happy today, and try not to make anybody unhappy. I still feel that way. Mm-hmm. But I try to do the right thing, do my best, treat others as I want to be treated. That's what Brady's trying to do. And they brought some great, to me, a golden egg for us. And we need to keep a good attitude, a positive attitude towards it. Attitudes can tear a church down, a family down, where you work down. And I choose to have a positive attitude about everything. Hey, I've got stories. I try not to carry them on my shoulder or on my sleeve. But everybody has situations in their life that they have a reason to maybe be a little down on. That isn't the way I want to live my life.
Right.
And I have some of the same problems everybody else has, but I tend, and it makes you a healthier person.
I agree.
And I believe we need to look at the Brady Industries project with a good attitude, hang in there, support them, feel good about it. I think it's going to happen for sure, okay? And I'm proud that they're here.
Hey, all right. Anything else we need to touch on today?
No, but appreciate you being right in the middle of downtown, too.
Yeah, we love it.
And it's only going to be better for my hometown radio station.
Well, we appreciate it, Mayor. Thanks.
Man. Thank you.
Mayor Steve Gilmore, we appreciate him. He comes to us the second and fourth Wednesdays of each month to talk to us about Ashland City government here on The Breakfast Club.